Every time Wizards of the Coast releases a new campaign setting, there's always somebody brewing something awesome.
And today we're going to take a look at Feywild Companion.
Welcome to the Homebrew Crew. I'm Tony, this is Ed, and today we're going to be going over a Feywild supplement to go along with the new release from Wizards of the Coast. Today we're looking at the Feywild Companion by Splinterverse. It's 150 pages, and it's immense. There's so much stuff in it. The cool thing that I like about it, though, and I think you agree with it, is that it kind of just doesn't give you the Feywild setting. It gives you some stuff to actually run.
You know, it's nice because you get a deeper connection with your players and the setting themselves, rather than just, again, being just, I'm a human noble fighter that's been dropped into this scenario.
And believe me, the last thing we need is more human noble fighters, and the only thing we need less is halfling rogues. But I digress. It is a great supplement here, and it's got things in there. There's races. Well, there's one race, 2 lineages, 13 subclasses, new spells, feats, magic items, everything that you could possibly need for running your homebrew Feywild campaign. So today we're just going to take a look at a couple of things. We're going to look at some one of the lineages. Not a race. I always want to say race. It's lineage. I have to correct myself now. Lineages, and we're going to look at one of the 13 subclasses. All right? So let's just get into it. Hey, look, we're down here in the corner again.
Ah, I'm tiny.
Yeah, I know. You're tiny. Yes. Don't beat yourself up. Okay, so Feywild Companion. This is a great supplement. The artwork in this is absolutely amazing. There's so many different artists and so many different things.
That cover page is gorgeous.
Isn't it pretty?
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I want all of my portals to have this kind of wispy thing to them, don't you?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, you're about to, some horrible fates could happen if you go into the Feywild, but hey.
That's kind of true. There is some horribleness there. Either way, we're going to look at a couple of things here. This is the Feybound. This is one of the lineages, the custom lineages that are in the book. There are 2, and then there is an entire race in there as well that you can play with. This one here, pretty simple. You are actually Fey, so no more humanoid. You are Fey.
Essentially, you are a race that was exposed to the Fey energies somehow for some extended period of time, so you now have Fey qualities. So, starting from the top, you
like Bullwinkle.
Yeah, it's like, that has got to be awkward getting through doorways. I'm telling you that.
You have to go sideways. That's what
it just seems like a strain on the neck.
It's true. But don't they look fancy though?
But now she's got moss. It's got a anyway.
It's cool. So either way, you get a couple of different things here. Ancestral Legacy is kind of cool. Anytime you replace this lineage with, your race with this lineage with it, you've got a couple of things you can do. And the whole point is you don't lose your skill proficiencies or your climbing speed or flying speed or any of that. You retain that.
Or if you choose not to keep that, you do get to choose 2 different skill proficiencies instead. Fairly
nice. Fey Sight, your skin tingles when you're in the presence of Fey creatures. I don't know if I particularly want that, but it's nice to know when there's a fairy nearby.
Speak for yourself. Find you keeper.
Yeah, the tingling helps, I guess. As an action, you can heighten your senses to detect lurking Fey. So I don't know if you're trying to detect the hag that's in the bushes or something or anything like that. But yeah, there is that kind of thing.
Well, it does have an advantage because Fey are tricksy creatures, like, oh, maybe that bush isn't a bush. I don't know, it keeps looking at me weird.
That's true. That circle of mushrooms could be something, right?
However, when in the Feywild, the opposite. You have that sensation. You can use that ability to sense whether or not any non-Fey creatures are inside.
It's an interesting thing, too, because that lineage actually ties you to the Feywild, which is kind of cool. And I love the fact that the trait actually changes based on what plane you're on, which is kind of cool. Like, I like the fact that if you're in the Feywild, now you can detect, you're not a Fey. Like that kind of thing. And then you also get this Feywild trigger. Now, there are 2 other things here, sense of direction and time slip. We're not going to cover those really, because we really want to have some fun with this Feywild trigger, right? So when you gain this lineage, you roll 1d20. The number you roll becomes your trigger. So let's say you roll a d20. Whoop, what number is it?
I got a 2.
Oh, good.
Important thing to note, 1s and 20s don't count, so it's anywhere between 2 and 19.
Okay, good. So then 2. So now anytime you roll a 2...
Anytime you roll a 2, whether it be attack, skill check, whatever, you then roll on the wild effects table.
And I'm just going to quickly scroll down to the bottom of the document at the wild effects table. Pay no attention to me. Ed, why don't you roll for us?
Wild magic. It's not just for sorcerers anymore.
Pay no attention. Pay no attention.
We got 33.
33. All right, so now every time I roll a 2, I roll this D100, and whatever effect happens. It's a really cool thing on the wild magic stuff. And 33, a pixie suddenly appears. She is angry at being summoned, so she casts polymorph on you, then disappears and cannot be tracked. All of a sudden, you're feeling a bit sheepish. What? Did I get your goat?
No, that was just bad.
God.
Yeah.
All right, so the puns have increased here on the channel. Don't worry. We will structure them. Why don't you roll again? You rolled a 2 again, Ed.
I got a 43 this time.
Oh, 43. Oh, good. I don't have to scroll. A hypnotic pattern appears behind you like the spell. The effect lasts for 1 minute and has a DC of 10.
Hit him with the fireball now! Hit him! You turn around.
It's just this thing behind you. So
Into the blinking lights.
now I love these effects. I like the fact that you have a wild magic kind of table that goes along with this, and every single time that person rolls a 2, in our case with that, one of these effects go off. This is a lot of fun for the DM, and it's a lot of fun for the table. Like, I always enjoy this. Like, my favorite on the wild magic table is always the potted plant.
Oh, the potted
You know,
plant.
like you turn it into a potted plant. This is just as cool, and I guarantee you guys are going to have a lot of fun with that. As I said, they do get some other ones here, sense direction and time slip. Basically, you've grown accustomed to the Feywild, so you're now in sync with that kind of thing as well. All right, now, as we said, we were going to make this brief, and we're 7 minutes into this already. Let's go over one of my favorite classes out of this thing. Now, there are 13, but this is one of my favorite. The other runners up for this were the Barbarian and the Rogue. I really like the Rogue, was cool.
Well.
But this is the Bard College of Seasons, and what's cool about this is you've got it's a bard that's attuned to the Feywild itself, and the songs that they learn, the stuff that they do, is based on the seasons that the Feywild goes through.
Much like the Eladrin, like maybe Eladrin.
Yeah, it's kind of exactly like the Eladrin with that, and I like that because it just sort of fits.
No, I like it a lot because now you have, Eladrin College of Seasons. Now it's, I don't know, I'm feeling kind of summer today.
You are actually more spring, but that's okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so what do you get with this thing, right? So Melodies of the Seasons, you get this at 3rd level. Your study has led you to compose songs worthy of each of the seasons. When you reach level 3, you choose one of the following seasonal melodies as an alternative to your bardic inspiration. So instead of giving inspiration to somebody, you can sing this spring song, summer song, autumn song, or the winter song, right?
Correct.
And they give different effects. So if you pick spring, what happens?
Your song reflects the budding life of spring, creating vigor in those around you. As a bonus action, you can expend the use of bardic inspiration to grant an ally you see within 60 feet an additional attack if you use the attack action on their next turn.
Right, so it only lasts for that next turn of theirs, but if they use the attack action, they get 2, which is kind of awesome, which is neat.
Fantastic. You get that paladin gets an extra smite in, monk gets an extra stunning fist in.
It could be quite,
You get an extra laugh at the wizard.
always do it to the fighter. He gets extra attacks. Oh, you can to the wizard. Okay, go and punch him. Go ahead.
Go on, use your dagger. I know it's in your starting equipment.
That's just for ornamental use. Yes, I understand completely.
And cheese.
And cheese, right? So the summer song on this is kind of interesting. Summer represents the hottest month. As a reaction, so the first one there was a bonus action. This is a reaction. When an ally you can see within 60 feet of you hits with an attack, you expend the use of your bardic inspiration to increase the damage on an attack. The additional damage equals your bardic inspiration die plus your charisma modifier and is the same type as the damage of the attack. If the damage of the attack has 2 different attacks or 2 different damage types, your ally gets to choose what type of damage gets through on there.
Magic weapon, smite, Zealot Barbarians, extra damage they get from their attack, whatever it may be.
Right, and it's very, very useful with that. We also have our Autumn with that. The song marks transformations, returning life to a previous state. As a bonus action, you can expend the use of Bardic Inspiration to restore hit points to a creature. Hit points restored are equal to your Bardic Inspiration plus your Charisma. Fairly straightforward there. And our winter one here embodies the harshness and frigidness of winter. I found this one a little lacking compared to the other ones, but it's still a good one. When you're hit with an attack by a creature you can see within 60 feet, you can spend use of Bardic Inspiration as a reaction to deal cold damage to that target. Now, I did miss something the first time I read it, and now I read it and I actually like it more. It's when you're hit with an attack. It's a damage shield.
Oh, it's a pocket Hellish Rebuke.
Yes, it's a pocket. It's a pocket, frigid rebuke. Okay. It's not exactly hellish. I mean, we live in Chicago. It is hellish winters, but yeah. So that's your third level ability. You pick one of those. Now, the good thing is when you gain a level, you can change out your song. You can pick a different song when you gain a level on this.
So I feel like something isn't quite working out the way you thought it was, or maybe
you felt like a winter that day. You can kind of go along with that. Yes. Our next one here at 6th level is In All Seasons. Your mastery of the transition between seasons has led to a distinct understanding of spaces between others, giving you Fey-like abilities. You can use this feature. You choose one of the following effects. So you get to pick one of these when you use it. I should mention you get to use this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and can't use again until you finish a long rest. So if your proficiency bonus is 2, you can use 2 uses before a long rest. Charming Presence, literally here with it, it's wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target is charmed for 1 minute. Phase Step, as a bonus action, you can teleport 20 feet to an unoccupied space. And the last one here is Magic Resistance. So each one is an action, one is a bonus action, one is a reaction.
Which honestly is a great spread. You always got like a little bit of an option as far as the action economy goes during combat. And also it's a good spread of abilities as well. I mean, you get a free charm, you get a quick little bounce out of danger, you get a forget your hold person spell. And
what's cool about it is with an action, a bonus action, and a reaction, it doesn't say you have to, you're not limited to just one in a round. So if you've got a proficiency bonus of 2 or 3, you can technically do all 3 in one turn because one's an action, one's a bonus action, one's a reaction.
Honestly, I hadn't thought about that. You're actually right.
The next thing here you get, and this is, I think, the last thing. Don't worry, it's got 4 parts. I know it's long. Stick with us. I promise you it's cool. This is Mastery of the Seasons. Your understanding of nature's seasons is complete. You have the ability of 4 different powerful effects based on seasons. Upon finishing a long rest, choose one of the... Now, this is a little different, because upon long rest, you get to choose one of these melodies.
So it looks more like a cleric spell or something,
Right, exactly. So we've got the same thing, 4 seasons on this spring. This one's kind of interesting. You want to read that one?
Absolutely. You use the joy created by the life of spring as a weapon. Choose one creature that you can see within 30 feet. The target begins a comic dance in place, shuffling, tapping its feet.
So basically, it gets distracted for that 1 minute, right?
Absolutely. Dance creature must use all its movement to dance without leaving its space, and is disadvantaged on dexterity saving throws and attack rolls. While target is affected by this ability, other creatures have advantage on attack rolls against it. Dancing creature makes a wisdom saving throw at the end of each turn.
Right. So basically, it's that ability to make this creature completely distracted for the next minute. And I just love the fact that they have to kind of do the cha-cha in order to make it, really thematic with that. Summer, you gain Mastery of Heat with that. Choose a number of creatures within 30 feet. Each target must succeed on a wisdom save. On a failed save, the target becomes frightened of you for the next minute. Again, they can remake the save. Autumn, on this one, you have the ability to turn back the clock, erasing the passage of time. This sounds really powerful. Choose one creature you can see within 30 feet. You can reduce that creature's exhaustion level by 1, and any one effect, condition effect on the creature. I love that.
I particularly like because I hate having to deal with exhaustion when it happens. And whenever you have to use a greater restoration, like that's a huge loss to your
spell slots, all of that kind of stuff. It's nuts.
So it's really nice to have that little throw it out there option, and it's good support usage.
Absolutely. And the last one here is winter. You bring the freezing cold of winter down upon your enemies. 30-foot cone, con save, 10d8 damage on that. It's like a big cone of cold, but again, you can only use this once per long rest, and you can pick one per long rest. So it's actually pretty balanced.
Nice little, again, that little pocket damage you throw out there. You don't have to really commit anything to it. I find it a very useful ability.
I agree. All right, so if you want to pick this one up, you can totally get this over at the DMsguild. Again, that's Feywild Companion by Splinterverse. We'll leave a link in the description below. And as always, we kind of want to hear about all your Feywild adventures. With the new book that came out, if you guys got something, we're running Feywild October, right?
Yes, we are.
So just send us the stuff that you would like us to take a look at. Anything crazy, wild, awesome, kind of fun and exciting, we want to hear about it. Send it over to dmbrewcrew@gmail.com. Now, remember, the best campaigns are always the ones that are homebrewed, and sometimes the ones that involve a little bit of Fey magic. So until next time, keep brewing.